So today we're going to talk about color. More importantly, we're going to go through my entire color grading workflow, from understanding log footage to working with different codecs. That's all going to be here today. Before we start, I just kind of want to do a brief summary of what color grading and color correcting all are. So what's the difference between color grading and color correcting? Because they're actually different, and I thought they were the same when I was younger, so I'm going to explain the difference between them. So color correcting is what you're going to do first. Color correcting is generally two things: getting the skin tones right and getting the colors right, so making sure that all those colors are accurate. Color grading is giving it that cinematic look, which we're going to talk about, and that's kind of the fun part. Color correcting can be boring, but there's some things to do that actually make it pretty fun, and I quite like it. And there's of course another step of just, quickly color correcting your log footage, because I'm going to explain what log is right now. So log footage is basically footage that looks like this. Now, I'm shooting in log right now. That's probably why you can tell this looks awful and just horrible. This just looks horrible. So why I'm shooting in this is because it just preserves a lot more of that dynamic range. So it keeps more details in those shadows, so you can really adjust things later. Now, I'd also recommend shooting in RAW if you can. Most cameras can shoot in RAW. There's different RAW formats though, and it can be a little bit confusing. Right now I'm shooting in ProRes 422, but there's other RAWs too, like Blackmagic RAW, Redcode RAW, Airy RAW. There are different types of RAW, and depending on the camera you're using, generally each company has their own kind of format. And what RAW means is it's just going to keep a lot more of that information, which means the file is going to be a lot bigger, but you're going to be able to do a lot later when it comes to color grading. Alright everybody, so here I am in Davinci Resolve, and this is a project that I edited earlier today. And you can see here, we got these 3 colored bracelets here, and as you can see, the red one, I really want to make this red one dominant here. I want to make that one this focus of attention. And basically, I'm going to go through how I made that happen here, and also just kind of my color grading workflow in Resolve. So as you can see, this is kind of a basic little bit of nodes here. I'm going to explain what the nodes do in a minute, but first I'm just going to delete all these nodes. So we just start back at 1 again, and this is what the original image looked like. So as you can see, pretty plain, pretty dull, pretty boring. And basically, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to press Alt S 2 times, and I'm going to create 3 nodes. Basically, nodes are, I don't really know how to explain them, but they're kind of similar to layers in the sense that each node is like a different, you can do different things on it, and then you can kind of combine them later. So as you can see, I'm just going to click on my 3rd node here, and if we go into the little color wheels here, start out with contrast and pivot. Those are the kind of the 2 things that I like to start out by doing. First, just boosting up that contrast. So I'm going to kind of want to boost up that contrast around here. And right off the bat, you're going to notice that it looks just so much better. Then with pivot, I'm just going to pivot up just a little bit. You don't want to bring it up too much, otherwise it kind of gets overexposed. But I do want to bring it up a little bit. And then right off the bat, if we go before, after, it just looks so much better. Very bright, more vibrant, and you got to make those colors pop there. But I really want this red color to like really pop. Like I want it to be like the center of attention. So how am I going to do that? Well, Davinci Resolve, what I love about it is you can basically do anything in it. And basically, if we just click this middle node here, once you click the middle node, I'm going to right click, I'm going to press add node, and I'm going to press add layer. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to create a layer mixer here. And basically what that's going to allow us to do is I'm going to show you in a minute, but basically if we click on the bottom node here and we go to this little pointer thing here and we just click, kind of like move around on the red, kind of get that red in there, and then if we pressed shift H, we can kind of see that red, and we can see what it's doing. It's highlighting that red. So if we unclick shift H here, basically now we can do whatever we want with this layer, and it won't affect the rest of the image. So let's say we want to bring this temperature right up. As you can see, I'm bringing it up, but it's only on the red. So I'm just going to bring that up. I'm going to bring my saturation quite a bit up. I'm not going to bring that too much. I'm going to kind of bring down the saturation just a tad bit. Notice before, we can almost make it kind of glow there. Now I kind of want to bring that down just a little bit because I don't want to make it super obvious that it's been edited, but that I think is really cool. And you can basically do that with anything. Skin tones are probably the main thing that it's meant for, but really you can do it with anything. And I'm actually going to open up another project now that I'm working on, and basically that's this vlog clip of me. So as you can see, I'm just doing a normal vlog, but I'm going to kind of show you what I did to make this. So basically what I'm using here is I'm using a LUT. I'm using this Blackmagic Rec 709 LUT, bringing it on there. It's a great LUT if you're using a Blackmagic camera, but it really doesn't matter what camera you're using. They basically have every single company on here: Panasonic, Olympus, Red, Sony, Arri, everything is all in this here, and they basically have different LUTs for that individual camera. Basically, what I did here, I'm just going to redo what I just did here. So basically, all you need to do is create a just basically just drag and drop that LUT in there. And there we go, you're done. So we can see before and after. It's as simple as that. It's a conversion to Rec. 709 from log LUT, and it's really great. Now another thing that we can do here is we can do this on our own. So let's just create another one, and we can do what we did earlier by basically right clicking, add node, add layer, and we can go down to the bottom, click this, try to get kind of that skin tone there, and then if we go up here, we can kind of color correct the image, make it really bright. So we bring up that contrast quite a bit, bring up that pivot a little bit, and I kind of want to bring up that saturation a lot. But as you can see, it's ruining the skin tones. That's way too orange, and just bring those shadows down just a tad bit. But if we go here, we can fix all those problems. So if we bring down our temperature on the skin, as you can see, it's not affecting the rest of the image, it's just kind of affecting this. And I mean, it's not perfect, so you can do some more stuff there to make it good. This is just for example's sake, but we can kind of bring down basically the temperature and the skin tones to make those skin tones look normal. And as you can see, here we have it. So before, and basically what that did is it just made those skin tones normal, which is great. It's really cool. And basically that's just a little bit of Davinci Resolve. There's tons more. This is kind of what most of my simple basic projects look like, but you can have thousands, not thousands, but you can literally have hundreds of nodes here when you're doing color grading in Davinci Resolve. It's literally great. And as you can see, it has so many LUTs built in that are like really good. Like they're not just crappy LUTs, they're actually good LUTs. So that's basically Davinci Resolve in a nutshell. Just kidding, kind of, because there's so much more to learn about it that I couldn't really do in this video. This is just kind of my simple basic color grading workflow, as well as I tried to teach you some different types of codecs and try to understand raw and log and what those are. Hoped you learned something in this video. If you didn't, leave a comment down below on like what you think I should do differently. I always like to learn stuff. Also, I'm not a professional, like I'm not a colorist or anything. That's actually not really what I like to do. I'm more of a visual effects artist / cinematographer type of person, but it's really important to learn about color if you want to be a cinematographer or if you want to be a visual effects artist, because you kind of have to incorporate that into your workflows as well. Because I do make short films. I neglected color grading for like the longest time when I was younger, and I've just kind of started learning it in the past few years. So yeah, that's kind of just my knowledge that I've shared with you. Hope you learned something, and always remember to have a nice day.